Passing under the shadow of Norway or Sweden's great mountain ranges, you might notice that the countryside is littered with boulders. These boulders didn't arrive at their final resting place by accident. Many of them are weapons, great of the giant trolls who once roamed the land, and a few of them have an even more spectacular history. They are the bodies of trolls themselves turned to stone because they were exposed to daylight. Trolls are humanoid creatures who dwell deep in the wilderness of Scandinavia. Their appearance ranges from monstrous to eccentric to cute. But they are all almost unfriendly, no matter how charming they may look. Unless you're a quick thinker, an encounter with a troll never ends well. Scandinavian folklore introduces two kinds of trolls: the giants, often called Jotnar, Jontar, and the little folk, often called Huldrefolk. The Jotnar, who borrowed their name and many of their characteristics from the ancient Norse ice giants, are superhuman characters. They tower above your average man, supported by colossal stony limbs. Their features are rugged, like stone worn down by the weather, and their hair is wild. Some of them are so large and unkempt that plants can even take root in their skin. The ugliest not Jotnar can have single eyes, like a cyclops, and multiple heads. The Huldrefolk are much less of an eyesore than their giant cousins. In fact, they can easily be mistaken for humans, and attractive humans at that. They are betrayed only by their tails, which can be cow-like or fox-like, but these can be hidden by clothing. Trolls, especially the Jotnar, are primitive creatures. They isolate themselves from human civilization, preferring to live in caves or murky forests beyond the reach of man's hustle and bustle. Sometimes a small community of trolls can spring up in one area, but the beasts have little to no form of government even when they live together. At best, the strongest of them might be crowned as a king, who has the right to order the others around. Above all other social institutions, they dislike religion. Legend says that it was first Thor's thunderbolts, and then the ringing of church bells, which drove them into exile, and they are still quick to attack traveling Christians, kidnap unbaptized children, or demolish churches when they can. Some trolls support themselves by hunting or farming, but far more of them are pillagers. They waylay travelers, strip them of their valuables, and perhaps even eat them. The most daring individuals might even launch an expedition into a village, destroying things, plundering treasure, kidnapping children or beautiful ladies. Trolls are traditionally dim-witted creatures, so they aren't in the habit of cultivating talents. The greatest skills they have are the skills they were born with: brute strength and a strong connection with nature. They can uproot trees to use as clubs and hurl boulders as missiles. The mightiest of them are capable of stirring up thunderstorms or avalanches. Small trolls are more advanced than their massive cousins, and they have more tricks up their sleeves. Female holders, for example, have beautiful voices that mimic wind and falling water. They can lure men into the wilderness with their sweet songs. Others have minor magic abilities that can make humans fall asleep, lose track of time, see visions of treasure, etc. Trolls date back all the way to ancient Norse and Viking culture, appearing in the oldest definitive text on Norse culture, the Proto-Edda. Still, the evolution of the troll as a recognizable species is confusing. Originally, the word trolleri was used to describe all sorts of creatures who drew their magic from nature and used to mess with humans. It took hundreds of years for that name to narrow down to the creatures we recognize as trolls today. Indeed, the sharp divide between the two types of trolls we recognize today, one gigantic and aggressive, and the other small, cute, and mischievous, is evidence of the past diversity of these creatures. Beginning with the Proto-Edda, trolls have marched relentlessly across the pages of literature. At first, they were limited to Scandinavian fairy tales like Askeladden's Adventures and Three Billy Goes Gruff, which highlighted their stupidity by allowing weaker characters to outsmart them. In the 20th century, however, they received a slight character upbringing in John Bowers' The Changeling, which depicts them as scheming creatures who are at times capable of being soft-hearted. Not surprisingly, Scandinavia's European neighbors adopted trolls next. The monsters were especially popular with British fantasy writers, including C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, and J.K. Rowling, all of whom preserved the unintelligent, ugly, and aggressive archetype. In the United States, trolls have received an unusual twist. They appear as small, local creatures who are especially fond of children, as in the movies Frozen and Trolls. They are even popular as collectible toys, who are characterized by large, round noses and tall, fluffy paws with brightly colored hair. Hey guys, Wicked here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, Wicked out.